Vincent, thanks for joining us here at the BWT India studio here in Mumbai. Delighted to have you here with us.
Well, it's great to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Great. Well, obviously over the span of today, there's seen a lot of presentations and action. What are your thoughts so far?
It's been phenomenal. In fact, I spoke to quite a few industry leaders who tend to go to these sort of organizations and conferences a lot, and they were very, very happy. They spoke very highly of the quality of the conversations and more importantly the quality of the attendance, the people, the seniority, and frankly the whole technology audience is very new in India, and I think you guys have done a great job at bringing a lot of the top people together in a great place like this coworks.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for the compliments there. I mean, I guess we're looking forward to your workshop tomorrow. Saying that, obviously going to be focused on flexible space. Tell us a bit more about your current focus in terms of that.
Yeah, so I'm currently I founded my own consulting practice called Coworking Future. And I'm currently advising my main client is IWG, helping them on a few strategic initiatives. And so I'm completely embedded into flex and co-working. Have been since last June. It's been phenomenal because I was with JLL. I had a leadership position with them. Had been there for 27 years across 3 continents. Kind of did most different kind of roles, functional, operational, client CRM and so forth, and I'm now doing exclusively co-working advisory, and I find that the shift, this disruption is truly here, and your timing to discuss this and to pull it together with PropTech, I think is bang on. I mean, it really is so interlinked to what's happening with the whole digital transformation, that it's clearly, I think in those 3 decades I've been in this industry, it's fair to say the disruption is real, but it's not bad, it's good, and it's actually good for everyone. It's good for the investor community, the landlords, the service providers, and more importantly for the one who are getting the experience of being there. And so the right providers who have the global platform that have scale, like an IWG, I think will do extremely well over the coming few years. So it's exciting. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else right now. This is a great sort of place to focus my time on.
Great. Well, I mean, in terms of, obviously, you've mentioned, the innovation and then disruption. I mean, we're actually seeing quite a few sort of developers here today as well. I mean, do you think perceptions are changing, and particularly in terms of flexible working space? I mean, I guess traditionally we've seen a lot of flexible working sort of operators, dominate the industry, but do you think it's obviously changing in the way sort of developers are seeing that and adapting?
Yeah, I think there's developers around the world can't ignore the fact that today the take-up and the attraction of flexible solutions for enterprises, irrespective of their size. I'm talking a startup or to a medium-sized company or a large 500 Fortune company. They all see that there's something in there for them. It clearly generates value. And so smart developers and investors are going to latch onto that and figure out how they can make that part of their portfolio. Whether it ends up being 10%, 20%, 30% of a portfolio, that remains to be seen, but I think it definitely, I can't see how you can ignore it. In fact, interestingly, we've started to see some valuation of portfolios that includes a percentage of flex to have a premium versus a discount. Historically, flex / co-working meant a discounted valuation across the world. Now we're starting to see some of the valuers realizing that actually it is a different leasehold value. There is more risk potentially to the developer based on the sort of deal that they've done with the co-working provider, but some of it is actually good. Not having it is not so great. So that's a big shift right there.
Great. And looking at India specifically, I guess you're probably a good person to ask when it comes to that, with having worked all over the world and having that knowledge from a lot of different countries. How does India compare to, other countries or leading, more mature countries in terms of flexible space?
I would put them in the leading camp around embracing changes, their workforce, and the developer community. They're very young. They're a lot more willing to change and to embrace the fact that the future is going to be different than some of the more conservative or established markets in Western Europe or the US. So I think that's great. And in fact, we're seeing a large proportion of the transactions in 2018 were actually were with co-working providers. I think if I recall, one of the global service providers, I think it was JLL, said that 2018 their largest customer was actually a co-working provider. It was not the usual sort of Fortune 500 company, which has been the case for the last 10, 15 years. So that alone clearly identifies the fact that they've embraced this well, and they're latching onto it, and they're going to take a leap forward.
Okay, and I mean, just coming back to obviously today and tomorrow, I mean, how have you found the makeup of attendees here?
A great mix. Some traditional bricks and mortar. You've got some VCs coming from the US and Europe. You've got a great senior concentration of individuals in the room who are based here in India, who are right in the epicenter of this transformation. If anything, I would have loved to see more gender equality. I think if you look in the room, it's still predominantly male.
Yeah.
And that's one of the challenges I think that India is faced with. But I think that's changing. But it would have been great to see more women leaders in the room. There were a few who had startups.
Yeah.
I'd love to see more.
Sure. I think, well, in real estate in general, we probably need to see more.
It's not easy, but I think it's something that the organization should really work on for next time. There's always room for improvement.
Sure.
But otherwise, it's phenomenal, and it's been a great day so far. I look forward to tomorrow.
Great, yeah, looking forward to it. And just in one sentence, if you can sum up their event, how would it sit in your mind anyway?
I would say, insightful, dynamic, and forward-looking.
Great. Well, thank you very much for your time, Vincent, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Neil, and look forward to being here tomorrow.
Yeah, looking forward to your workshop tomorrow. Thanks for joining us in the BWT India studio.
Thank you.
Cheers.